Inspired by the Facemaker Wilf Dessent's lettering styles, we're going to now use our research into his type of features and start to add that to the letters that we've already drawn out. I found it easy to start by looking at the shape and seeing how you could break it down into different sections, maybe where you would put the nose or the eyes or certain dominant features first, building up from that. Once you've got the features in, having looked at your research sheet, you can start to add bits of pattern or detail like he would in his particular work. You can see here I start to make the letter 3D like we've already done previously. And then I start to try and identify where I might put a facial feature. I've identified that here could be a good place for the nose, and I've looked on the sheet to find a similar sort of nose that I might want to bring in as part of that design. Once I've plotted out the nose, I can then start to look for different examples of eyes that I might put in different placements. Quite often the eyes don't match, so that's another thing to think about. And I've quickly identified that the arch shape underneath the K is similar to that of the top of a lip. So I started to pick that out as a lip area and added that in. Then I'm coming and choosing a different shaped eye to go on the other side. Building in the striped details that we quite often see in Wilf Dessent's work, just to create a contrast and highlight that 3D form. When I'm happy with the design, I can start to go over it with fine liner or biro. That way I've got clear definition and a crisp design that I can start to work into. As you start to go over the designs, you might start to think about where you might vary the quality of the line, so where it might be a little bit thicker or a little bit thinner. These sorts of details add interest and a certain dynamic to the work that you're producing. As you go along, assess if certain areas need patterns such as lines or stripes, and if certain areas need gaps or definition to make them stand out in a different kind of way. Again, I'm going over the lines that make my 2D letter into a 3D letter, and I'm using that as part of my designing. Sometimes the stripes will be even, sometimes they will be uneven. I'm constantly looking at Wilf Dessent's work for little bits of inspiration to see how I can create design, pattern, character, and contrast. I found that the more letters that I developed, the more familiar I became with Wilf's work, the easier I found it to build up his style of face and add in those details. Here you can see me reviewing and modifying a design that I had previously done that I decided wasn't just quite enough like the work of Wilf. I'm bringing in the patterns, varying those lines, and here you can see I've completed the full alphabet ready to use in my final design task. Have fun designing your alphabet.